The meteorite is the source of the light, and the meteor's just what we see. And the meteoroid is a stone that's devoid of the fire that propelled it to thee. Just your normal kind of lyrics there. Hello, my name's Greg Harradine, I'm a composer, and today I'm going to be discussing the album Is by Joanna Newsom, and answering the question, is this good art or bad art? This is a new series of videos I'm going to make, hopefully releasing one each week, and each time I'll be discussing a different piece of music. Maybe I'll throw some books in there too, and answering this question, what is good art? What is bad art? Everyone's got an opinion on the subject. I'm going to share mine. This album, wow. I mean, let me just throw my two pennies worth in right at the start. It's good art. It's great art. This is genius. If you know it already, you probably love it. If you don't know it, seek this album out. Is by Joanna Newsom. Take a listen. Don't just take one listen. You must listen to it multiple times. This is one of the signs of great art, I think, is you can come back to it again and again and again over weeks and months and years, and you don't get bored with it. Each experience gets richer and richer. I'm trying to do this, by the way, each of these videos in about 8 minutes. Precisely 8 minutes, which is why we see this timer here. No edits. This is one take, one go, 8 minutes. So it's like we're together having a chat in real time. None of these fancy edits. No, 8 minutes, my friends. Is, just a bit of background about it. If you don't know, Joanna Newsom is a singer and a harpist. That's what we hear on the album, vocals and harp, plus orchestra. A genius move. An orchestra arranged and conducted by no other than Van Dyke Parks. So not only do we have Joanna Newsom's amazing vocal and harp performance, but we have an orchestra. And it doesn't overwhelm. It's not lush. It's not overblown. Van Dyke Parks does an incredible job at creating nuance, just bringing instruments in small groups here and there. The strings swell in to give a phrase more energy. Little groups of woodwind pop up from time to time. The album, by the way, 55 minutes in length. How many tracks would you say it should have? Maybe 12 or 14 with a length like that? No, 5. 5 tracks we have here. It's a 5-track album, which means an average track length of 11 minutes. Wow. The shortest track, just a mere 7 minutes. Yeah, the longest over 16 minutes. The shortest track, 7 minutes. Compare it to Bohemian Rhapsody, a famously long song. That's only 5:55. 7 minutes, the shortest track. It is a concept album of sorts. It feels like a concept album. It is quite progressive, as in the sense of prog rock. It is long. It's complex. It's sort of about events in Joanna's life in the year leading up to the album, including, very sadly, the death of a very close friend. And that comes through the heartfelt nature. This is why, one of the reasons this is great art, and Joanna Newsom is a great artist. It's totally convincing. It's like an outpouring of creativity that could not have come in any other way. The lyrics are complex. They are very baroque. They're arcane. They're sort of Byzantine in their complexity. And you don't quite know what she's getting at half the time, which is part of the beauty of it. You hear these wonderful phrases, beautiful phrases, poetic, and it makes you think. And that's what a lot of her fans really, really connect with the lyrics, because you can take your own meanings from them. None of this just writing by numbers that we so often get in pop songs. Something interesting happens on this album. So, like I said, it's complex. It's beautifully complex, but she's not afraid to then pare things down to simplicity or to repeat certain phrases. Twice, well, I'm sure more than twice, but I've thought of 2 times on the album. First of all, on the track Monkey and Bear, we get to about the 6-minute mark. Okay, the 6-minute mark. And suddenly we hear this phrase, this certain vocal phrase, 9 times in a row. Different lyrics each time, but the vocal melody, the same, unaltered, 9 times in a row. Then there's a short break where she sings something different, and 7 more times. No, sorry, 8 more times. 8 more times the same vocal melody. So 9 plus 8, 17 times we hear an unaltered vocal melody, 17 times, more or less, in a row. She's doing something bold there. She's woven this web of amazing beauty, quite complex, and then boom, she hits us with repetition. She's getting to the heart of the matter, and she's not afraid to bring us along on this journey. And we can bear it. We love it. We want more. 17 times is not enough. She does it again in Only Skin, track 4. Again, it's about the 6-minute mark. Again, she gets a vocal melody. She repeats it 10 times in a row. Different lyrics each time, but an unaltered, more or less, vocal melody. 10 times. It reminds me of, I don't know, a sort of ceremony where then you end up getting into a trance-like state. Imagine an elaborate ceremony, and then at the culmination of it, you're in this trance-like state of intense concentration, concentrating on one object, this single vocal phrase, which is repeated. At the end of Cosmia, the final track, but at the end of it, I think around 4.5 minutes in, the harp settles upon 2 chords. For those who are interested, it's a sort of B minor 9, I think, and then a G major 7, a few alterations. But essentially, we're going from B minor to G, B minor to G, again and again, for about 2.5 minutes, nothing else, in the harp. 2 chords, which I haven't counted the exact number of repetitions, but it's over 50. Now, even in the simplest pop song, there's hardly any examples where you'd hear just 2 chords back and forth for 2.5 minutes with nothing else in the harmony. Incredible. And at the end of this track, who can forget the moment where she sings the line, quite a standard line in her terms, and I miss your precious heart. And she repeats the words and miss, 8 times in a row. So powerful. We're getting to the end of the 8 minutes. But yes, this is great art. Seek it out. I'm going to give each of these albums a score out of 100, 1 being very, very bad art and 100 being the best art ever. Joanna, you get 95 out of 100 for Ys. By the way, Ys was a mythical city in Brittany which apparently fell into the sea, inspired the album title. The 8 minutes are coming to a close. I'm going to release another one next week. Let me know, what should I do? What should I look at next? Yeah, could be an album or a book. What would you like to hear me discuss? Good art or bad art? Hope you've enjoyed this. I've been Greg Harradine, and please subscribe, and see you again very soon.